Evening, welcome to something that looks like a washing machine. This is Cart Gap. We've done a few videos here, but it's never been as rough as this. As a stiff sort of west, it's going northwesterly, and yeah, that is pretty rough out there. But not sure how many's booked in. I've just turned up. We're going to do the draw, and then we'll get on with it. Hopefully there'll be a bass here or something. Time will tell. 29 booked in for tonight's episode, so whether the 29 turn up remains to be seen, but time to draw a peg. I don't know yet, I'm drawn.
Are you drawn yet?
No, there you are, 18. 18, mate. 18, Roger, thank you.
18.
Go on then, Dwayne, let's see.
22, mate.
Oh, you're far enough for me, away from me. The wind's going to make it really difficult to fish this tonight, but or to film it. Should be alright to fish, hopefully. But I've got Eric Martin there to my left hand side and Katie to my right. So if I was a bass living at Cart Gap, I'd probably be lurking around at the bottom of this shelf when it gets dark. That looks the calmest bit of water there. Either that or whack it out a long way. So we'll start off with a 3-hook flapper and see if we can just catch something. And then I've got some pennel rigs made up if I get desperate. But I've got 3 peeler crabs and 50 lugworm. And I've got 2 fillets of frozen mackerel, but they've probably been in the freezer a couple of years, so I don't like my chances with them. But they'll fill 1 hook up. And we'll give it our best shot, but the bit I enjoy most is getting back in the car park, seeing what everyone else has caught and getting the results. So if the weather turns even rougher and it gets even windier, then we'll still be able to get behind the van and you'll know what's been caught at Cart Gap. And that's the best we can do, I reckon. But yeah, 3-hook flapper, 40 yards in that surf. Start with. I don't want to show stuff that you already know, but some of you won't. But this was a little tip someone showed me that sometimes make life easier if the blow lug are a little bit glassy. And yeah, just put a couple on like that, and then attach a long length of elastic band because it's easier to hook on, and then just cut it off into a little cube. Saves if you haven't got any tipping baits, it just holds it on there nicely. Even there, look, the wind's blowing it everywhere and I'm stuck behind the box, so yeah, it's going to be tricky. Right, so that's what it looks like completed. So you got lugworms on there and a tiny little bit of elastic band there, so it didn't do anything that a little tiny strip of mackerel or a few wrigglers or something wouldn't do. But if you haven't got any of them, tiny little bit of elastic band stops that lugworm rolling round and covering the point. Someone showed me, so I'm showing you. See if it works. The only other thing I do, which I found out by accident, which has made my life a bit easier, is if you've got any old sloshy old mackerel and it does get slimy and you're on a beach like this, you just sprinkle it with sand. I found out by just dropping the whole lot one night at Bacton, but makes it a lot easier to grip. Stick it on the hook, nice and easy. I don't think that'd be a big player tonight. Hopefully then blow lug will catch me a bass. But if you've got a bit of fish, that might get a dogfish, but it doesn't look like dogfish weather really. But I'm sure someone will get one. We've got some good casters in here and they'll be able to get out in that calmer water. Right, we're in the water. 7 o'clock, we're fishing till 10:30. But the only fear I've got is when that tide picks up and starts to come here, that'll have the wind behind it, so that could race us round into that groin, which I hope doesn't happen. And the only other thing on these sandy beaches, the weed can be a problem, so hopefully that doesn't cause too many issues. And once the water starts creeping up this bank, hopefully I'll be able to fish in that gully at the bottom, and then that'll save all sorts of problems. But at the moment we're trying out as far as I can hit it, just see if we can get a a whiting or something on the card. Can't believe I'm saying that, but must be a white in there surely. Well, we've done our first 50 minutes and unfortunately it's not going very well. I've seen no fish caught and anglers pulling each other in. So the wind has got hold of it with the tide and that's belting round to the right, and I'm getting about sort of 6 or 7 minutes fishing time by whacking it up tide, putting a bow in the line and fishing in that surf, but not everyone's managing to get out past the breakers, and there's a bit of weed in the sea, not a lot but just enough to cause you a bit of grief. But hopefully there'll be a bass in among that. They got to be here soon. I've only fished it in the autumn and it's always been good, but you'd think there might be 1 or 2 here in April. That's what we're trying for. Had to swap out the rigs. I'm now on a pulley pennel. Not my first choice, but it's got me out of trouble before and hopefully it will do again. Yeah, good old surf rolling in there. If this had been June, I think there'd be bass crawling up the beach, but well, we'll stick at it. Told you there'd be bass here. Not quite what we was after, but it's a fish. Well done, mate. Leave you to unhook that and get him back in the water. They got to be 36 centimetres to count in this match. That's not the size limit. Size limit's 42, but to count any points it's got to be 36. So he's managed to get himself a bite anyway. Whether he saw it or not I doubt, but at least there's some fish here, some description. Get sandblasted, I know that. Just need a bigger one now, mate.
Definitely do.
Almost dark, but Eric and I have managed to figure out a system which might get one of us a fish, decent one. So he's lobbing about 30 yards into that gully, and he seems that looks bassy really. So I'm going up tide over the top of him in effect and putting a bow in my line so that when his trundles down to the right he's reeling in under my line, so it gives us both a decent bit of fishing time. But yeah, sometimes when you're in this close proximity you've got to sort something out between you, so the furthest caster can go up tide and let the other one come underneath, and as long as you sort of reel in at a coordinated time you get away with it. What it's going to be like when it gets dark I don't know, but at the moment we're both fishing, and Katie's just dropping in on the end of that groin. Can be a good spot in there, but as yet nothing other than that little bass Eric got. But it looks fishy, so someone will get something. When we get back to the car park I bet someone's had a good bass out of this. I've not coped with the conditions very well. I've been loading up pennel rig blow lug for the last couple of hours, and I have still got a blank card. I caught nothing. So we'll fire it out again a couple more times. If nothing happens we'll see you in the car park. That's it, I've had enough. Everyone in the groin around me has packed up and gone up in the car park. It's chucking it down with rain. I have heard of a couple of fish. There's a whiting and a bass down to my right hand side, but we'll see. Let's get packed up, I've had enough. You're good to go.
Right, for those that are left, which ain't many, there's only a top 3 because everybody else blanked. Out of 29 anglers we had 26 blankers. So in 3rd place Leon Smith with 1 fish for 20 points. Top 5 Leon. 2nd place myself, 2 fish, 27 points.
Well done, Roger.
And the ever consistent Mr. Steve Medler. One fish, a bass for 68 points.
Nice one.
Where are you, Steve? You can't have the trophy because Mr. Green left on his mantelpiece.
That's because he normally wins, eh?
Don't go
Where
too
did
far.
he get on?
Steve, don't go very far, mate. Because the biggest round was Steve
Bass.
Medler.
Oh, yes.
And there was no flat, so that don't roll over, we just don't do it. Steve, come here. Right. Don't pull your own card out.
Yeah, that would be.
No, I'll just put yours in the middle.
That helps.
Oh, piss off.
Which way you run?
Yeah, he pulled his own.
Fair play, mate.
Jack Topping again.
I'd have kept the first one.
He ain't got his shoes on. He ain't got his shoes on, Jack.
Keep telling you, Jack, it's better to be lucky than good. Where is he?
He's sitting there watching a film in the middle.
What? He shouldn't have it then, should he?
It's Dad to take it.
Come on,
He
Dad.
needs all the petrol money he can get, doesn't he, Jack?
There you go, mate.
Cheers.
Well done, boys.
Well done, everyone.
Next week we're at Cly again because we've got the Penn final on the Saturday, somewhere similar on the Sunday as well for the at Kelling. So we'll have to move it on a little bit because that'll all be fished out. So we'll fish Cly again, or we can fish Salthouse. It's up to you, boys. Salthouse is a hell of a walk across the shingle. So we'll fish Cly again then.
Yep.
Yeah.
Right, let's go home.
Just asking for a friend or something.
You've only got one friend. You brought him with you tonight.
I only paid him to come.
Right, let's go.
Well done, boys.
Well done, lad.